So, I know I said, you know, I really should have leveled up or done my skills. Okay. Lots of things fighting each other in there. That's kind of interesting. Don't worry, I've made a mental note to do my skill ups, but I don't want to leave a bunch of enemies. Oh, they can't get to me here anyway. Well, maybe they can now. Okay, so that's someone to talk to, but first, let's clear all this out. Okay, I didn't realize it was going to be quite this many things and take quite this long just to get to a calm place where I can concentrate on my skill ups. I'm going to end up clearing this whole place out before I do that. Okay, if I get you and you guys and you guys. Okay, I see no more enemies on my screen. Backtrack. Get back to where the star is here. Actually, beyond that. Make sure I didn't miss any loot. Okay, here we go. That's the way out. Safe. Okay, so let's go ahead and level up Shaman. So we now are at 20. Okay, I'm gonna have to, at some point off camera, I will take a look at some of these other Shaman abilities, but for now, we want to go ahead and level up. So we've now maxed out Primal Strike, so it's definitely a good time to figure out what we're gonna do moving forward, although in the back of my mind, I was kind of thinking to just continue upgrading these, but at the very least, I should try to digest what they are. What's Torrent? Ah, that looks like it might be an additional AoE, perhaps? I need more physique. Yeah, let's do it. Are you going to increase my DPS? No. Oh, my physique is being increased by these. Wow, okay. So if I wear them, it actually lowers my physique to the point where I can't wear them anymore. That's... I mean, it makes sense, but it's a little unusual how it's handled. Okay, let's talk to you. You are Darlet. Can't believe somebody found me out here. I came down into this cellar looking for supplies, but got caught off on the surface by the dead. I don't know what to do. Kasparov sent me. I could open a rift gate and get you to safety. Okay. You can do that. Portal away. Boom. Okay, and we'll find out what your story is once we get back to town. And I guess no, I have not cleared all this. Is this another way out? Because I need to explore up that way. And yet another way up. Okay, so there are 3 different... Oh, an untouched meal. Is there a secret wall somewhere along here? Yes, there is. Look at that. Okay, another scythe. Scepter of Thunder. A little bit of gear and an untouched meal. Okay. Alright, so that ladder just seems almost for certain that it's just going to take me back out to the main world. But perhaps this door down here, if I can navigate the hallway, this may be a little different. Let's find out. Am I still underground? Nope. Oh, okay. There's a star there. That's interesting. Okay, let me get some of my health restored here. Okay, this is a beholder. Wow. Okay, how am I doing here? Doing okay. Doing okay. He's level 20. That's not yellow. That's orange. I don't know what orange means. Legendary? Epic? Okay. Wow, that was a little bit more... It wasn't nearly as difficult as some of our other combats, but it was a little bit more intense than I was expecting coming up out of that dungeon. Cutlass, that's a one-handed sword. Okay, I think we got this house pretty well looted at this point. Now let me get my bearings. I see, I actually can't go back that way. Perhaps I should have paid more attention to the map before I ran the whole way back. There we go. It still says access the Warden's cellar as if the place I just wasn't actually it. So presumably the game will really let me know when I'm at the right spot for that. Stairs down, stairs down. Oh, there's a desecrated shrine. How did I miss that? It's turning into a very labyrinthine network of rooms and levels, and having a little bit of trouble navigating the map efficiently. Okay, this is an area where I've already been, and somehow I missed a desecrated shrine, or did this just appear? There's the cellar door that I went down. Okay, so I can see why I might have missed this because I was focused on that. Okay, yes, summon. Okay. Excellent. A coat, which is not going to be as good for us, and a breastplate, which is not going to be as good for us. Restored shrine, okay. So presumably now on the local map, there'll be a check mark here. That's probably it right there. That's probably where we are. Okay, we got another trapdoor here. Let's go ahead and take it. Okay, this is going to be back. No, this is a new dungeon. Level 17. Well, that one has a star over its head, and it makes some nasty looking poison AoE. I'm going to assume all that green is poison, but wow, that lasted a long time. Okay. Yeah, so that's really the key to fighting that thing, is just to stay out of the poison AoE. Get it to shoot it at you from a distance and then close in and burn them down. Tarnished Arbalist. Okay. An Arbalist might be another thing that I would want to normally mess around with, but it does substantially less damage than the sword I'm using. However, I'm already kind of anxious to try a ranged weapon again. Oh, dropping down from above. If this were first person, that would be terrifying. Did I get everything up here? Looks like it. A Hat of Attack. Bleeding damage and offensive ability looks better. I'm gonna take a look at this. Okay, so my DPS is 2761. That's better. Okay. Tarnished Great Axe of Ruin. My inventory starting to get pretty filled up again. Maybe I should kill all the monsters before I start worrying about the loot. Gloves of Vicious Barbs. Well, the others are blue, but these look like stats-wise they might be better, so let's check them out here. We got 2802. It is going to lower my cunning. Yeah, not lowered my DPS as well. Okay, what have we got up here? Nothing there. Is this where I came in? No, that's where I came in. Okay, we got another star here. Gatrus the Foul. Okay, I took a lot of damage there. I probably stood much too long. Ooh. Tried to hit R to drink a healing potion. Excuse me, a tonic of mending. And I got a message. Didn't hear what she said though. Okay. So pants, which are probably way out of reach, and a rare heavy helm. Nah. It's not going to be, not the kind of damage that we want. Okay. How did I get in here? There we go. Alright, so that's the way I came up. Okay, we have a little bit down here that I somehow missed. Gosh, another named. Yeah, he does some serious damage to me as well. A horn, this is another offhand. Can I not get through there? I cannot. Okay, I'm just going to leave that unexplored for now because it's going to take me way too long to get back there. And it's a tiny little dark spot on the map anyway. Surely I couldn't have missed anything too important. Got some journals here. Did I level? Nope. Okay. Feels like the enemies are starting to get a bit thicker. Level 20, maybe there's an incremental difficulty curve progression. Okay, Cleric's plate armor. I'll just have to evaluate those later. I want to take a look at these journal entries. These are the Inquisitor again. I think I already read a few of his. Third entry. Insisted I accept the Warden's invitation to be put up at his manor. I find this very peculiar, but I've accepted the offer as it may be my best chance to investigate the manor itself. Going to make this entry short as I've been summoned to join Krieg for supper in the dining hall. This should prove illuminating. Well, I'm very curious to find out what the next one is going to say. I've been a guest to Warden Krieg at his manor for over a week now, and my suspicions that something terrible is going on here grow with each day. Peripheral cases, though, and the main purpose of my involvement is to give pretense for my prolonged stay in Berwick. Krieg himself has become the focus of my primary investigation. Overwhelming conviction that Krieg is not what he appears to be and is almost certainly involved in some sort of unnatural activity. I have found no irrefutable evidence of wrongdoing. Wow, this doesn't sound like the types of Inquisitors I'm used to. Much of the manor itself is closed off to me. There are rooms upstairs. Okay, well, I was quite interested to find out what the fourth entry was going to be, but really didn't learn anything from it. Aha! This, however, will be interesting. Warden Krieg's journal. Right here. Up. I saw you trying to creep up on me. Okay, here we go. I have taken possession of my assigned vessel, the local prison warden. I appeared to him in his bedchamber and proposed the joining. I had anticipated fear and skepticism, but these humans are apparently all too ready to enter into any pact they believe will profit them. Boy, if that ain't the truth. Krieg is not a particularly strong-willed human, but he is persistent and constantly scratches at my consciousness. I have him under control, though. His position as an incarcerator of other humans will greatly facilitate our efforts. His expansive dwelling has a massive cellar that I believe we can use to fashion an underground transit to conceal our activities and the transport of bodies. There's much work ahead to prepare for our glorious dawn. but I rather enjoy this physical body. It has many advantages. Okay, I'm assuming that's an ethereal. And clearly then this star on my map is going to be the cellar. Except I am going up. How do I get there? That's not the way. The wooden door. Okay. Alright, I kind of would like to find a rift gate. Not so much to go back to town because I can do that from anywhere. In fact, I'm going to do it now from here. But more because I'd like to be able to come right back. But I might want to take a break first. So anyway, I'm gonna think about that while I run back to town and clear out some inventory. Okay, so Cairn is the name of the world. Or at least the continent, maybe. Okay, just going to do some basic maintenance type stuff here, so no one's going to be interested in that, I don't imagine. So, I was looking at the skill tree here, and this upheaval at first looked intriguing, but then I realized it is only when you land critical strikes. However, this torrent is definitely something I want to mess around with. The critical strikes... I don't actually even see where I can tell what my chance to do a critical strike is. Greatest monster killed, Narbolgal, the Stormseeker. I remember that name, I just don't remember what level he was. Okay. Is there a crit chance? There's definitely a lot of numbers here to digest. Are there mouse over tooltips for these things? The percent bonus to the offensive ability of your pets and... Oh! So offensive ability is not even affecting my own attacks? Really? Oh no, that's because I'm looking at pet bonuses. That would make more sense. Is there another place where I can see that? Lot to digest here. Okay, well, I'm not going to spend any more time. I do want to go ahead and talk to this person. Darlet, I rescued you. You're welcome and thanks. I'm here for all your schematic needs. Just ask. Tinkering is her specialty, okay? So I don't really know what my schematic needs are exactly, but we'll figure that out later. So this is... Is that where I was? I hope so. Oh no. That's where I was, right there. Really? All the way down there? Sure enough. Okay. All right. Oops. Let's take the wooden door. I still need to go back and clear out that other dungeon. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Alright, so there was a shrine right here. Or, I'm sorry, a rift gate right here. I should have known. I should have suspected. Well, that's good, because that means that I can go ahead and take a break after all. Even though I've already cleared out my inventory. Okay, super. I'll just tack this on to the last recording and call it a day. Okay, so we are back and my short break if I can make a confession, my short break turned into several days because in the interim, I had both some really good suggestions from some of you, and thank you so much for those of you who took the time to post comments. I really appreciate the tips and advice. And regarding my skill tree, I realize now I'm going to have to rework some of this, but also at the same time, Path of Exile has released their new Affliction League, and I did take a couple of days to play that. The release of a new league is always just a really exciting time for me, and I know for lots of other people. And I'd kind of like to get lost in the game for a couple of days when my excitement is at a maximum. However, I will say, even while playing that and quite enjoying it, I often have found my thoughts wandering back to this game as well. I am not of the opinion that that there's only room for one RPG, that, you know, whichever one is my favorite and the others all suck. That hasn't been my experience. There's definitely things that I like about Path of Exile, and there's also definitely things I'm liking so far about this game. So I plan to continue for the foreseeable future putting time into both. But enough rambling about that. Especially in the middle of a video, I did want to go ahead and express my thanks to everyone who has already offered some suggestions. And the main suggestion so far is, as it states right here, Thunderous Strike is not a default weapon attack enhancer and cannot trigger effects such as Feral Hunger. Well, here I am putting points into Feral Hunger and also into Brute Force. So these are things that affect a standard weapon attack. Really just not going to be useful when most of our attacks are... It says here Primal Strike, but what we're really doing there is Thunderous Strike. So the question is... Yes, again, activates off default weapon attacks. Activates off default weapon attacks. Here it doesn't say activates off default weapon attacks, but presumably it does. So interesting that it just doesn't say it here. But in any case, clearly a learning opportunity for me personally. So what that means is we're going to respec. We're going to take points out of Brute Force and Feral Hunger. If they're just not flat out going to trigger very often, they are not worth the skill points allocated to them. So we'll take those points, we'll put them into increasing our shaman abilities overall, but I'm really quite interested at this point now to find out what Torrent is going to do for us. And we're going to have enough points to put into Torrent. Going to ignore Upheaval. So Wendigo totems look like... Well, I'll worry about those a little bit later. I think what we want to do is get to Storm Surge, maybe? Is that a single point? Well, we're gonna mess around a little bit with Torrent before we apply Storm Surge, and then we will apply it and mess around with it a little bit at that point as well. So let's go ahead and do this. I can undo points. I have plenty of money. How do I... Do I just click on this to undo the points? I do. I see. And it just keeps track right here. Okay. And so it's going to cost 50 bits, that's all, to regain 20 points. Okay, well this is definitely a huge difference between Grim Dawn and Path of Exile. It is relatively punishing to try to respec like this in Path of Exile. So as someone who is learning this game, definitely appreciate this. Let's go ahead and undo those points. Let's close this. Open. Okay. Why did that not work?
I sense turmoil within you.
What did I... I see. That's an undo feature. Well, how do I commit? Do I commit just by closing?
Stay strong.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Have to remember that for the future. Let's go ahead and get this up to 25. And let's go ahead and get torrent up. So this is increasing the number of targets it affects, increasing the main hand damage, and increasing the lightning damage. Okay, and we still have 4 points left, so we're going to mess around with this, and then we'll see what happens after we apply Storm Surge. Okay, does this have any mention? I should have paid attention to all the pop-up language there to see what changed, if anything. Okay, I'm sorry if I insulted you earlier. Your origins were just a bit startling. I hear that you braved the dangers beyond Lower Crossing. I was wondering if you could help gather some materials. Sure, what do you need? You see, I was a seamstress before the Grim Dawn, nothing special, made just enough to get by, but now I see an opportunity to use my trade to make a difference around here. I would like to sew some new canopies and maybe some new clothes if there's enough fabric left. I think I've been picking up fabric. Alex and Jane deserve better than this. If you could please gather any fabrics you find, the people here would be grateful. The waterfront and Burwich would be a good place to start looking. I will get the fabric, or I can just go ahead and say, is this enough? Look at that. We got some more reputation. We got a fortified doublet. Okay. I will take that. Great, this is more than enough to clean this place up a bit. Should also have some left over to make some new clothes. Many people here are wearing nothing but rags. Oh, and please take this jacket. I've been working on these for Briggs and the other guards, but I think you've earned the first one. Thank you. Happy to help. Okay, she has definitely come around. She's warmed up to me. And apologize for my phone going off there in the background. Okay, so how does this doublet look? It looks like it's more defensive oriented. I do like the energy regenerated per second, but we'll find out if we're having energy issues before we start using that. So let's just hang on to that, and we'll mess around with it later. Just out of curiosity though, how much does my DPS drop with this? Not by too much. Might be worth it. Okay. And anything for anybody to say? Making new clothes for everyone. Glad to hear it. I take it these are your children? No, my children are dead. I'm so sorry. I left them alone. That's right. I should have remembered that. I left them alone at home while I went off to visit our neighbor. Captain John found me hiding in the neighbor's cellar like a coward. What kind of mad gods would leave the innocent to be slaughtered while wretches like me are spared? Captain John brought me here, and he gave me these children, Jane and Alex, to look after. Caring for them is the only thing that keeps me going. I'm sorry for your loss. Indeed I am. Says it's okay to talk to you now. Hi, hello. Okay, very nice. Very nice. Alright. You, never going out there again. I think we've had this conversation before. Okay. Now, before I jump back into the cellar, particularly because I want to be testing out these, the difference in my primal strike. I don't know if I'm going to feel weaker. I should feel stronger, one would think, but I at least need to see what torrent does. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, okay, torrent is not a completely separate ability to use. That's what I thought. So I need to remember now, where is the dangerous dungeon that I ignored. This is the portal that would take me right back into the cellar. But before I do that, I feel like maybe the cave that led into the more dangerous dungeon was closer to here. Could this be it? I think Festering Lair. I think that was it. Okay. keeping an eye... Let's try it this way. Keeping an eye on the energy expenditure. Now, this certainly feels plenty powerful right now. It looks like it does do some extra AoE, which is what we had expected. Burning through the energy. Definitely something to keep in mind there. Feels fairly powerful, but also I'm fighting things of a lower level, so I don't want to read too much into that. However, if we go into this dungeon... I'm really running a risk by having played a little bit of Path of Exile and building up the muscle memory of what that game... Okay, how do I get over there? I guess I can't. Yes, there's gotta be a way to... There we go, okay. Building up the muscle memory for Path of Exile controls is gonna get me into trouble in terms of now switching back to this game. I'm gonna bounce back and forth until I'm proficient at both, but I'm not there yet. So I'm doing things like hitting the key that I use for my movement skills and it doing nothing. And so naturally, not only am I kind of relearning the controls here, but I'm going to do it going into an area that it told me was super dangerous. So, gotta love that. Alright, before I apply... In fact, I think I might... Well, I'm going to not do Spirit yet, but I'm leaning towards going Spirit. And... Can't max that out anymore. Am I ready to go ahead and try this? Raw power surges through the target, bursting blood vessels. See, it is adding a considerable amount of energy cost. That is a concern. I don't see a cooldown on it, so is it doing it in every attack? Okay, let's not start using that just yet. Okay, still says dangerous domain. Okay, until I hate to run away like that, but until I remember refamiliarize myself with controls. R, I did remember that just in the nick of time to do a tiny little bit of healing. Let me... I guess there's no... I'm thinking for a moment that I have to run around and kill some things to refill my flasks. And that's not how this game works. Okay. Let's try this again. Kill a few more. Okay. Okay, these things are... They're all level 20-ish. When they're not completely overwhelming me... Oh! Wow, okay. Gotta remember that this is my...
That skill's not ready.
My evade. Okay, wow. Okay. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Obviously some dot on me right there. Why? I'm still taking damage. Okay. Wow. Okay, what I needed to do is I needed to read that thing up there to see if that's what was doing the damage to me. Because I didn't see any dots down here that looked like it should be affecting me. Can I jump in quick enough to hover over that and read it? Let's risk it. Okay, I'm not taking damage now. Weird. Okay, let's take a second. You have entered a dangerous area dominated by your foes. Monsters here are more powerful and a mutator is active, but loot drops are improved. I see no... no reason... Oh, I bet you all of these little green clouds are poisonous. Yep, wow, that does a lot of damage. Okay. Alright, I need poison immunity, poison resistance. 6%. Okay. I hate to give up on the dungeon again already, but yeah, that's going to kick my butt, and it's all over the place in here. All over the place. How big is this map? Can't really tell yet. Okay. Still too dangerous for me. I'm absolutely going to get myself killed if I get in the middle of great big fights. It's not the fighting itself in this case that was so hazardous. It was all the poison. Okay, now that we know how inexpensive it is to respec, I see no reason to not go ahead and apply some points here. So at this point, a lot more energy, 6 more energy cost, larger target area, fairly significant amount of extra damage, including electrocute damage. Okay. And how does this look in terms of our DPS? This is considerably higher, I believe. So the real issue, I'm just going to have to remember E. E is to replenish energy. R to replenish... Okay, I was trying to actually run back to the Rift Gate, but I guess I don't need to do that. I can just do it from here. Okay. Alright, let's see. We're fighting level 21s. We're taking some damage again. Poison has become a priority. Poison resistance has become a priority. Looks like that's... Can't tell from the mini-map, but that's very clearly impassable right there. Just literally everything in here going to do poison. The energy so far is not as bad as I was expecting. I mean, it's definitely noticeable. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. But it's not debilitating at this point. It doesn't seem right now like it would be constantly forcing me to stop and wait for it to recover. Okay, is this just a full circle at this point? It is. Okay. Somehow there's a way to get in there. It looks like it just... Maybe not. Maybe there's nothing in there. Maybe it's the same barrier from both sides. Okay. Alright. How are we looking here? Keep hitting tab to pull up the map. That's not how it works in this game. Okay, yeah, I'm liking that extra AoE. That is super cool. I seem to be okay right now as long as I'm not standing in poison clouds. That's definitely something to keep an eye out on, like that right there. Although that wasn't too bad. Okay. Alright. Yep, again. Let's see here. Kind of want to be methodical about clearing out these rooms. Okay, what are we looking at here? These look better. At least, well, except they don't do the lightning damage. I hate to give up the lightning damage. Chaos resistance. Let's just take a look here at chaos. These are not in alphabetical order. That makes it a little bit... There we go. Alright, Chthonian beings. So, completely different from poison. Alright, looks like there's no way down there and I completely missed a room. Well, like I said, this is why I wanted to be methodical, but apparently I failed. I don't want to leave entire rooms unexplored, however. Take all that. Okay. Boy, I tell you what, this guy had himself a pretty expansive cellar. Okay, I think we covered all that ground. Okay, this is quite long. Does this tie back into those other passages that we saw? Okay, alright. Taking some damage here. I think I probably have already learned not to focus quite so much on DPS, but on defenses as well. Okay, so looks like I'm not going to be able to get back into that whole area there. That's unfortunate, but I'm not going to run the whole way back right now just for that. Okay, these things are really going down quickly enough. Okay, how much... What do we have down here? An untouched meal. Don't need it just yet. How dangerous is this going to be? Okay, alright. That's a problem. Wow! I need to get a little bit of a better tactical positioning here where I'm not completely surrounded by them. You are now dead. Thank you very much. Okay. Phew. All right. When my finger misclicked, what was it? It was Q. I accidentally hit Q. That's my movement key that I use in Path of Exile. So I was trying to use a movement key to escape an attack, and instead I pulled up a pop-up, and a lot of times when I pull up pop-ups in the middle of combat, it's a huge mistake that discombobulates me and it leads to me getting killed. So, led to my panicking a little bit and running away there. However, a little bit of panicking is much better than a little bit of dying. And meanwhile, we've got some good stuff here. These are out of my level range. Level 25 stuff. This could be better. Extra chaos damage and vitality damage, those are unhelpful. They do, however, have elemental resistances. So now if I look at this, presumably fire would go to 78, cold would go to 78, lightning would go to 78. Here's the question, are those the only three things that are considered elemental? Well, we're going to find out. Yes, they are. Okay, and what happens to my DPS? My DPS is high. Whoops. DPS is higher with the blues. With the blue. Is this that much better in terms of defense? Not really. 70 to 78% on just those 3 resistances to me does not feel like a reason to give up DPS. Okay, let's get a few more of these guys. Let's pick them off.
Can't do that yet.
Okay, I think maybe we've whittled them down enough now to be able to finish them off. Wow, look at that. Okay, obviously a pretty significant accomplishment right here. Hound's Bite. This is a one-handed sword. That's unfortunate, but I'll obviously want to keep it for maybe another character, since I am an altaholic. Venom Fang Oil. Okay. Don't really exactly know what to do with that, except obviously it's just a recipe. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna... Well, I got a lot of gear here. Most of it is one-handed weapons, which I know I'm not going to use, but I got some other things to evaluate as well. I also don't know how much bigger this dungeon is going to be. So I'm actually going to, and we're coming up on an hour. So I am going to need to split this video up, and off camera, let's go ahead and add to our spirit here. Off camera, I'm going to go ahead and evaluate the inventory, look at the skills a little bit more, and won't go really any further into the dungeon yet until the next recording. So, interesting little couple of combats there at the tail end. I think we did okay, although it was a little touch and go there, but so far so good. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Keep the tips coming. I do appreciate them. And I will see you all in the next one. Okay, so we are back, and I've just moved everything that I've kind of evaluated already and set aside to just sell. Put it over here. The things that are level 25, I'm just not going to worry about them until I get to that point. Actually, I think these boots I had already decided we could dump these as well. Okay. So, this is over here. These are the level 25s that we'll have to worry about when we get to that point. No point in evaluating them right now. So, let's go ahead and... This does bother me having left that, but before we run the whole way back there, in the off chance that we can reconnect to it at some point over here, we'll continue exploring this side first. Okay. We're killing stuff plenty fast. The problem is I've definitely noticed our propensity to take damage has vastly sped up as well. Okay. How tough are you? Oh! Pretty tough. Pretty tough. What is he? He's a 23. One more good round. Oh, he died. He bled to death, I think. Nice. Guardsman Spalders. Okay. We'll pick those up after we finish clearing these guys out. I guess that was it. Alright, let's take a look at these. Physical damage bonus, defensive ability, elemental resistance, Guardian's Will. Your stubborn will to live can save you Activates when health drops below 35%. That looks like it could be pretty useful. How much of a DPS hit, if any, will we take by switching to this? 32-32. 32-30. Yeah, I think I can live with that. Is that Guardian's Will something that we need to activate? No. Okay. Is it something that's going to show up? I don't really see anywhere where we can tell what buffs are affecting us. How did I miss this? Okay, one-handed mace minus 3,000 DPS. No, thank you. Oh, is this? Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted. This is taking us back to the area, the neglected area of the dungeon. Probably not the smartest thing to go to evade right into the middle of all of the enemies. Okay. No, well, yeah, no, I got a little bit more to explore up here. I'll always take a little bit more scrap. And some more iron bits. I won't say no. Okay, got a little bit more up here. Got some spiders. You guys don't really scare me. You ain't the boss of me. Yeah, I can just stand here and tank these things for the most part. Okay, alright, that's back to where we were. With that little bitty momentary hesitation that happens at the end of an evade, that basically makes it, I'm not sure if it's any faster than just running. Just the tiniest little hiccup in, or not hiccup, but hesitation in the animation. So, did I really? No, I did not finish the whole dungeon. We still have this whole area up here. We killed something major, but we still haven't found any lore clues about what was going on down here. So I picked up this amulet that we can't evaluate yet because we need one more level. Okay. I do like all of the loot drops. I mean, obviously, the loot mechanic is one of the most important things in an ARPG. I quite like picking up all this loot. However, I don't really know yet enough about the game to evaluate everything quickly. And I feel like it's probably not good, entertaining video for me to just stand here and try to figure out what's good and what's not while I'm recording. So for at least the moment, for the time being, I'm going to continue to do a lot of the evaluation stuff off camera. Although I also kind of like explaining thought processes on camera. So I don't know, it'll all kind of be a play it by ear. And if you guys have any suggestions about what I should be doing, I'd appreciate it. I'm obviously still an incredibly new and amateur YouTuber, so I have not really figured out what works and what doesn't. Okay, we're doing okay here, but try not to get caught standing still very much. And obviously I'm always, whenever I see green at this point, I'm always freaking out about, okay, is this going to be a huge dot that's going to kill me unexpectedly? Particularly because there's so much green in this in this room over here. Look at that. How do I get there? Did I already go in there? I don't think so. I think I ran right by it. Okay, is this gonna... Maybe not. Maybe I did run through it. Yeah, it's killing me. Okay, that ain't good. Das ist nicht gut. Das ist verboten. Okay, I believe we are maybe... Aha! We got a star. We've got another level. Of course we do. Okay, can we pay attention to... I want to find a small... Is this a rift gate? Yes, it is. Nice. Okay, what level are these guys? 21s. Still okay. We're still doing all right here from a scaling perspective. Okay, very nice. You know what I think I may do? I think I will append these past 8 minutes onto the previous video. It's going to end up being a really long video, but this seems like a better place to wrap up a video. Plus my inventory is getting pretty full. So let's hop back. Let's go ahead and do some maintenance, clear out some of the inventory, and we'll pick up from there in the next one. Once more, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.